Hello, and welcome back to some more Kingdom Come Deliverance. Night Smoke is here. And last time, Johanka had been taken and thrown in the rat house, which I'm guessing is like a brig or a jail or a dungeon, and she's been branded as a heretic. All because I had to encourage her. Don't worry. I'll save her. I'll rescue her. We will convince the people she is not a heretic.
What happened to Johanka?
Nothing good, I'm sorry to say. She was locked up by the papal inquisitor Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov. It seems he somehow caught wind of this preaching of hers. He's accused her of spreading heresy and had her placed under arrest.
Right. I'll go and see this Bishop Yaroslav of Benishov.
How did you even remember that?
And thank you, Henry. I'm glad you're standing up for Johanka. If you need anything, do come and see me.
Where can I find the Inquisitor?
Where can I find this Inquisitor?
He's staying here in the monastery grounds. His quarters are on the upper floor.
Tell me about him.
Bishop Yaroslav?
I've never heard of him before, but the prior has. He said he's very well learned and the Bishop of Sarepta.
Sarepta? Where's that? Moravia?
I don't know.
Oh, it's far, far away, near the Holy Land. He got the title from the Holy Father himself.
Oh my. He's a titular bishop.
Like he's not a real one?
It's, let's say, an honorary title. It refers to a diocese that no longer exists. And since a titular bishop has no diocese to oversee, he can devote himself to handling other very important church affairs, like ordaining other prelates, for example, to maintain succession through the centuries down from the time of Christ and his apostles.
Interesting. Very interesting. Do you believe Johanka?
Johanka is really being visited by the Virgin Mary?
Well, yes, Henry, I do. The things she says, the way she speaks, she doesn't sound like herself at all. I know she can't read, so where
She can't?
else could she have got it? Frankly, I can't think of any other explanation within the bounds of this world.
Thank you. First things first, let me change these clothes. Oh. We'll get to the bottom of this. Inquisitor?
So, I am...
Henry of Scots, from the garrison of the Royal Hetman, Sir Radzik Kobe. I've heard a lot about you, my son. I'm pleased to meet you.
Bishop Yaroslav? Sir? My lord? To what do I owe your interest in my humble self?
I was told you survived the massacre at Scobbins and warned the Townburg garrison. You tracked down the raiders of a stud farm in Neuhoff, wasn't it? To their hideout in the woods. And then you led Sir Radzig and his armed company there and joined bravely in the skirmish. Even killed their notorious leader by your own hand.
And a bunch of arrows, yes.
To your name. That's quite remarkable, considering your age, is it not?
I do my best.
I had some unsettled accounts to deal with, and I still do.
Clearly not lacking in determination. A word of caution, though. Fervor can easily lead to recklessness. Nevertheless, I assume you came on account of Johanka.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me what's on your mind.
Why did you have her imprisoned?
Why did you have her in prison?
Because she broke the promise she made to me and persisted in actions that bear the signs of heresy.
How did you find out about Johanka?
Word came to me what was happening here. That some young girl was claiming to speak for the Blessed Virgin. I traveled here immediately, as my duty demanded, and observed events in Sasau incognito, in order to examine the matter at first hand.
I see.
And? Well, obviously, don't need no end. You've imprisoned her.
And what will happen to Johanka now?
I must weigh the gravity of her transgressions and investigate these alleged visions of hers. I consider it very improbable that she is indeed being visited by the Blessed Virgin. Nevertheless, I cannot at this time rule it out entirely.
So you think it could be true? In that case, Johanka hasn't done anything wrong.
It's not that straightforward. Even if her visions were
Someone's
real,
car alarm's going
she was
on
afraid for
outside.
interpreting them as she saw fit and preaching to the people.
When will you decide, Monsignor?
As soon as I am fully informed of the facts.
God damn it, whoever's car that is. Click your thing here.
Complicated than I first thought.
Thank you.
I will call
Goodness.
Johanka and the witnesses, question them, and then pronounce a verdict.
Will anyone defend her?
And will there be anyone there to defend Johanka?
Do you doubt my judgment?
Well, I would never be so bold, sir. Surely it would be only just that someone should speak for Johanka about all her good deeds and so forth.
Naturally, I will also question those who would speak in her defense. Since you are interceding, I expect you have someone in mind?
Yes. Actually, me.
I'd volunteer
As
for
I
tribute.
surmised. But this matter does not directly concern you. Why should I allow you to appear before the court?
I'm sorry, why? Maybe because it's my Christian duty.
Johanka is my neighbour, and I have a Christian duty to come to her aid. I can't just stand by and do nothing.
I have to concur with you on that. So I will grant your request.
Thank you.
Very well. You will defend Johanka. You
Damn
may
straight I
speak in her
will.
defense if you so wish. You may also bring witnesses.
I
I
can?
will question any such witnesses. And naturally, I shall question Johanka too.
Okay.
Thank you, Monsignor. In that case, I'll need to speak to Johanka first.
That won't be possible. It's forbidden by the Inquisition procedure.
Goddamn Inquisitors.
Until the entire matter is resolved, Johanka can speak only to me and no one else. I would like to expedite the matter. The trial will take place in Sasau Church in 3 days' time at the latest. Come and let me know when you're ready to proceed. In the meantime, I will continue my investigation.
Very well, Monsignor. I had better get on with it then, sir. Farewell.
Before you go, you know Johanka longer than anyone else. You spent a lot of time with her, as I've discovered.
Yeah.
Tell me, my son, truthfully, what do you think of this whole affair?
She's honest.
Johanka is an honest girl, and virtuous. She's a good Christian who attends church and thinks of others.
Good. Please continue.
Johanka helped a lot of people. She worked her fingers to the bone helping Brother Nicodemus with the sick and injured.
That is certainly commendable. 'Cause, 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 'cause
the Virgin Mary? I believe the Virgin does visit her. Johanka is honest. She wouldn't lie about such a thing. And the things she says sound truthful and compelling. It really does seem like a heavenly revelation. Who else could it be from? But the Virgin Mary.
The origin of these so-called visions of hers must be investigated. Thank you for your candor. Is there anything else you can tell me?
She's concerned about Matthias.
She's worried about Matthias. He's from Skalitz too. She's very fond of him. But he was wounded in a raid on Merhayat recently, and since then he's been lying in a fever.
Oh yeah, I remember
Johanka
that.
believes that if she does what the Blessed Virgin wants of her, Matthias might be healed.
Interesting. Anything else?
That's all.
That's about all I can tell you.
You speak of her as if she should be beatified.
I don't know what that word
find
is.
it hard to believe she's as saintly as all that. I have a feeling you're hiding something from me.
She's just a simple girl.
Before, in Skalitz, Johanka was sort of, well, just a simple village girl. I never imagined I'd hear her talking the way she does now. She's completely transformed.
A simple village girl. I see. Do continue.
No, that's all.
That's about all I can tell you.
Is that really everything?
I
Yeah.
have nothing more to add, Monsignor.
Very well. Thank you, Monsieur. One more thing before you go.
Yeah?
Let me remind you that it's your Christian duty to report anything suspicious going on concerning the Church and the true faith. If you're aware of anything of the sort in these parts, if you prove yourself a commendable servant of the Church, I would also take that into account in judging Johanka's case.
All right, Monsignor. Bear that in mind.
See you later.
How do I prepare for the trial? Or gather witnesses, like who? Adela.
Johanka in court.
Oh, Lord. I hope she's acquitted. I was absolutely devastated when they took her away.
I need people to speak in her defense, and I'd like to ask you to do it.
I don't want to go there. Really. I'm afraid of that Inquisitor. But you helped me, and so did Johanka. It's only right that I should try and help her.
Exactly. It's the honorable thing to
What
do.
am I supposed to say there? I'm just a simple village girl. I don't know anything about these things.
That doesn't matter. You just be yourself.
And tell the
It should
truth.
be enough to talk about all the good Johanka does and how she helps others. I'll send for you if you need it.
All right.
Thanks a lot. Brother Nicodemus,
You've heard something?
Mm-hmm.
the Inquisitor has decided that Johanka will be tried, but he's agreed that I can defend her.
That's really quite unusual. It must mean he hasn't come to a clear conclusion yet.
Yes. I'll get her out of it.
I'm afraid it may not be that easy. Thing is, I expect Johanka will say the same things before the court that she's been preaching.
What are you saying?
Well, I've been thinking about what she's been saying, and it seems to me her preaching has a certain progression. Are you acquainted with the notion of 3 orders of man?
No. Not really.
Not really, no.
It's like this. It's said that everyone has their God-given place and purpose on earth. Laboratores, oratores, and bellatores.
Okay.
Those who work, those who pray, and those who fight. The common folk are born to work, to reap the fruits of the earth and to obey the laws of God and man. It is the purpose of the nobles to protect the people and the church against all dangers, and to maintain peace and justice on earth. And the church in turn has the task of caring for the spiritual welfare of all, ensuring the salvation of their souls, and bringing solace to the people in times of hardship, so that they can endure their earthly trials and enter the kingdom of heaven.
But what's all that got to do with Johanka?
Well, I noticed in her first sermon she primarily addressed the concerns of the common folk, and in the second, she criticized the nobility.
I see where you're going.
So you think she might start talking about the church?
Yes, I'm afraid she might. I dread to think how that might end up. Henry, you must warn her against that. She must show humility before the Inquisitor, and the wisest course would be to admit to being wrong.
No.
She's rather stubborn, but perhaps she'll listen
Nope,
to
nope,
you.
nope.
But
She's
the
not
Inquisitor
wrong.
said no one's allowed to see her.
No one except the Inquisitor's own men. You'll just have to think something up. I'm afraid Johanka's fate is mainly in your hands now. I'm relying on you. See you later.
No, I'm not doing that. You're wrong, man.
Witnesses can be summoned for Johanka's trial. So I wanted to ask you if you'd give a testimony. Maybe some learned speech in her defense?
I'd be glad to do it. Johanka deserves my help. Such testimonies could carry a lot of weight. You should try and get as many as you can.
I said that's what I'm gonna do. Sir Sebastian. Goodness. Hey. Sebastian.
I found this document in the woods by Sasau. Careful, it's a bit bloody.
Don't tell me those fools got themselves. To
They
hell
did.
with it. And did you come across any humans?
I did.
Yes. They're finished.
There now. It's not such a fuck up after all. Here's some money for you. It was supposed to be for those idiots, but it seems they asked for 100 groschen more than they deserved.
I need something from you, sir. I suppose you heard that Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor and is facing charges of heresy.
I did, and it's most disturbing news.
What you might not know is that he's agreed that I can defend her at the trial.
You?
Mm-hmm.
Do you even know what to say?
Of course I know what to say.
It'll turn out just fine, trust me. But I need you to testify at the court. In Johanka's defense, of course.
Naturally. You don't think I could just sit here and do nothing?
I think that's what you were planning on
The
doing.
bishop has already insisted that I appear before the court.
Oh. Right.
One moment. I apologize if I was a little hasty. This whole affair has left me anxious. I appreciate that you want to defend her. However, I don't think it would have any effect. No offense, but I don't think you'll be able to achieve anything in court.
Yeah.
I'm afraid the Inquisitor will judge as he sees fit, whatever anyone says.
75.
But I have an idea how you could help.
Oh? How's that?
Flee. With Johanka, of course.
That's not a good idea.
No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm sure Johanka will be acquitted by the court and everything will be alright.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Confirm the Inquisitor's suspicions, and she'd always be looking over her shoulder.
I don't agree. As I said, I don't believe you can affect the outcome of the court. If Johanka flees, yes, she'll have to lie low for a while. But in time, it will all blow over. You can take her anywhere, as long as it's far enough from here.
I can't leave,
will
dog.
always find her feet. She can easily hide out somewhere where she's not known. Maybe. There could even be a place for her on my estate. Think about it. But whatever you decide, if Johanka comes to any harm, you'll have me to answer to. I'm very fond of her, and her of me, and I don't want anything to happen to her, understand? But if everything ends well, I'll show you my gratitude, I assure you.
No.
See you later.
I'm not doing that at all. Guess what? There's no going Father Godwin to help out. But he doesn't know her anyways.
General quarters.
Mm-hmm. Is this signed? Okay. Alright. Ah, there you are, Pebbles.
Goodman Pavel, you're still here. That's a relief. I was afraid I'd miss you.
Ah, Henry. What would you like from me? Maybe you'd like to rob me of what I have left, or what is it this time?
What are you talking about?
You stole half of the money you were supposed to donate. You robbed me, lied to me, and dishonored the Blessed Virgin on whose behalf Johanka spoke.
You do me a
You're
disservice.
accusing me falsely. I donated the money I found in the place you described, and it wasn't easy to find either.
You mean half of the money I put there?
Half? What are you saying?
Don't think you can fool me. When it comes to coin, my memory is flawless. I remember exactly how much was there. 90 score groschen.
Then someone must have found it earlier and taken some.
Someone finds treasure and takes only half? Very fishy, I'd say.
No, not at all, actually. A lot of footpads think if they leave 1 groschen for every groschen they steal, it will absolve them of their sin, and they can line their purses with a clean conscience.
Well, there is a certain twisted logic to it. I know some merchants who think just like that. All right, Henry. I admit I jumped to conclusions.
Damn straight you did.
Now we've got that settled, there's something I'd like to ask of you. The Inquisitor has locked up Johanka. She's accused of heresy. I'd like to ask you to speak to the court in Johanka's defense.
Of course, Henry. You have my word. And the word of a burgher of Colleen ought to mean something.
Yeah,
But to
it ought
speak
to
in
at
defense
least.
of someone accused of heresy is no small matter. What do you want me to say?
The same thing you told me. That it was a sacred sign that you happened to be nearby when Johanka was speaking, and so on.
True. I'll tell the bishop that. You can rest assured.
Thank you very much. Please wait here a few more days for the court to convene, then I'll send for you.
All right. For Johanka's sake, I'll wait.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll be with you.
Can we talk? No?
Good health to you.
Thank you. I need a place to sleep for the night.
Have you got a bed for me?
I suppose I could for help.
Just the
Just
one.
right?
No.
Here you are.
Goodbye.
Reading a book. If only reading was like this in real life. Ooh, I've improved in reading. Warfare. Where you read healer bonus and raise beast bonus strength for sweet charges. +2. Hold the same charisma level that you have. Like people you to dress similarly to you. Why the heck not? Oh, yeah.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love them.
I wonder what's that symbol next to my health and stamina mean? Is that me being virtuous? Being a good lad? Bailiff?
Master Bailiff, Inquisitor Yaroslav is going to try Johanka.
I know. He was...
Oh? What did he want to know?
various things. Like how things are here, whether people are honest, whether we observe the fest days, and so forth. And then he asked about Johanka, about what she preaches, whether people come to listen to her. He's been talking to a lot of other people in Sasau too. I even heard that Katra, the swordsmith's wife, invited him to dine with them.
That's interesting. Thanks for telling me.
Will you go and
Was he
testify?
just asking questions, or does he want you to testify before the court?
Yes, he did ask me to testify, and I'm none too happy about it.
I see. And what are you going to say about her?
It depends what I'm asked, but there's not much I can say. I don't know Johanka very well. She seems virtuous and self-sacrificing to me. She's never done anything wrong, and no one here ever had a cross word to say about her, until recently. Maybe some gossip about her and Sir Sebastian. But I've heard similar talk about half the women folk here.
She's a virtuous girl.
Now that's just idle gossip. Johanka is a virtuous girl.
True. But then there's that preaching of hers. Folk have been falling out. They're split according to whether they believe Johanka or not. I don't know quite what to think of it myself. But I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'll wait and see what the learned bishop has to say.
Couldn't you add something good to your testimony for Johanka? I would, show my gratitude substantially.
What? Are you trying to bribe me to commit perjury? The Inquisitor will hear how you're going about defending Johanka.
No, you misunderstood me, dog. Dude, you totally misunderstood.
No, I would dream of it. I expressed myself back, that's all. What I was trying to say, rather clumsily, is that I'd be very glad if you were to speak on Johanka's behalf. She really deserves it.
Well, I'll overlook your clumsiness then.
Thank you, Master Bailiff.
Bye.
It's a bad idea. The man's a man of law. Isn't bailiff like...
What the?
Sorry. Isn't a bailiff like, what do you call them? A sheriff. They're the sheriff around these parts.
Make it quick, though. I don't care much for your scent.
I need your help with something. I'm sure you've heard. Johanka was locked up by the Inquisitor.
Who hasn't? The whole of Sasau is talking about it. And the Inquisitor was asking around about her.
I'd like to ask you to appear before the court and say something in Johanka's defense.
I can't say I'm keen on going there. But Johanka helped me. And you did too. I think it's only right that someone should say something good about her.
Ah, thanks, Guta. I appreciate it. I'll send for you when it's time.
God be with you.
Father Fabian. This ain't right.
Father, the Inquisitor has had Johanka thrown in jail.
I know, sir.
He's planning a hearing.
Rightly so. It's about time this whole matter was dealt with.
What do you think about it then?
Yeah.
As I say, it's a good thing that the matter is being investigated. The things Johanka has been preaching are, to say the least, disturbing. Who knows what these dreams are that she speaks of? And her words are only putting ideas in people's heads and leading them astray. Now, instead of going to church, as they should, they go to her in the false belief that they will find solace. It's creating a chasm between the people and the church and leading them away from the true teaching left to us by Christ. They're misguided and swamped in heretical ideas.
But the Virgin Mary speaks to her.
But Johanka is only saying what the Virgin Mary has told her. What can be wrong with that?
And how do you know the Virgin is really talking to her?
Well, I believe she's telling the truth.
Ah, but you can't be sure, can you? Do you really think a girl from the stable knows God's teaching better than the church? Better than the generations of church fathers and learned scholars since the time of Christ, who have studied the sacred scriptures and their correct interpretation? With all the evil that's already going on in this province, the last thing people need is a false prophet.
Christ came from the stable
Christ
too.
also came from a stable, though.
There's no comparison. Christ was the Son of God. Enough of this. Bishop Yaroslav asked me to present my suspicions before the court, and that's what I intend to do. He will then resolve the whole matter. He is, after all, more qualified than anyone to do so.
If you say so.
Oh my.
Farewell.
Interesting. Huh. You're right, I can't spend time standing here. Come on, boy, we got one more person to speak to. The swordsmith's wife. On the swordsmith. Nope, just the wife.
I'm here about Johanka.
You're that fella of hers, are you? What do you want?
No. Just a friend of hers. Matthias is her fella.
Huh. God knows how many she has.
I heard you invited Bishop Yaroslav to come and dine with you.
Yes, so what? Bishop Yaroslav is an esteemed visitor to Sasau, and it's only fitting he should be suitably hosted by devout burghers.
What do you have against
What have you got
Johanka?
against Johanka?
Nothing. The question is, what has she got against us? Tell me that.
What?
She turns up here and tries to tell us how to live our lives. Says the Virgin Mary whispers to her in the night. Yeah, I'm sure. To a simple village wench. I'd like to know who's really putting those ideas in her head. She's just getting people all worked up. Men, especially. Coming around here with her nonsense. Sasso is a decent, orderly place, I'll have you know.
That's not
We don't
true.
want any trouble here. All this talk about hellfire and the end of the world. God have mercy. No one is interested in what she has to say. All they want is some spectacle. She ought to have thought twice before she started. Not that she wasn't warned.
Warned how?
You mean warned? As I said, she was told.
What are you implying?
Tell me what you meant by that.
I didn't mean anything by it.
Out with it.
If you must know, some of the fellas want to have it out with her and tell her to stop. No one wants her speeches here. But would she listen? No. The devil possessed her to bring harm to us.
So it was you who sent those men.
All I wanted was to protect the Sasso folk against her poisonous tongue. And I'll do just that. The Monsignor asked me to testify in court. And I'll tell everything I know there.
And I'll do likewise. Farewell.
Go. Good luck.
You best control your wife, sir. Oh.
Yeah.
Round up all the testimony I need. Oop, made a wrong turn.
Yeah.
I've gained a level in horsemanship. Good. Horsemanship. This is it.